Welcome to our 2024 Shade Garden Journey, affectionately known as the Garden of Weeden. This garden was built from natural elements and things found around a homestead and free resources, and it played a crucial role in inspiring our honeybee journey. Gardening in the shade, it does present some unique challenges, but it also offers us opportunities for creativity and resilience. In this video, we're going to explore what worked and what didn't, and the lessons we learned along the way. Pretty much it's a picture montage, not a lot of videos, but it does give you an idea of the garden as it kind of went through the season and evolved. Our shade garden, it did face several challenges. We did have challenges that included sunlight, and we had to hand water it using rainwater, which we collected in sleds that we put out, and then we would put that into jugs. Or we'd hand water and carry it from the spigot. So that got mussels being made. Despite those obstacles, we did find success with certain plants. Basil, green onions, and oregano thrived the best for us this season. The cucumbers and tomatoes, they did okay, but not as well as they could have done had they had more sunshine. Zucchini and yellow squash, as much as we wanted them to do well, they flower, but we just didn't get any. There's just no pollinators, and look at where we are right now. So perhaps it did do us good by not having the pollinators, because now that's all we think about. Peppers didn't produce much, and the peas and beans were a no-go. Did try potatoes this year, which yielded just a few, but not as many as we'd hoped for, and looking forward to planting more potatoes in the future though, and trying out some different ways of going about those. We tried them in plastic garbage bags this year. So the difference in this year was that we used leaves more than we had in the past. This year we used them in the garden boxes, which we didn't have the year before. And instead of having an endless supply of manure, which we had in 2023 when we had great success, we were using water from the horse buckets. We were taking that out every morning and using all that sludge and broken down hay and fermenting in the buckets. We would use that, and it was nice and warm water, and then we would put that also into tea. We'd ferment our stall manure. The results in the horse manure were fantastic, though, I want to say, especially for the tomatoes and peppers. So the sun and the manure is their friend, not so much in the shade and with just the leaves. So this year we're going to try it a little differently. So a significant challenge that we faced in our shade garden was the lack of pollinators, which I spoke about. That's what inspired our journey into beekeeping. And I want to talk about introducing water features and native habitats. In doing so, we attracted toads and frogs, and I was super excited for that because we were starting to get attacked by aphids and slugs this year. There was a lot of moisture, and being in the shade and using the natural elements like logs and leaves, not only was it great for the toads, but it was also great for the slugs. So I was bringing in toads and frogs as much as I could. And then the aphids started killing everything. And so instead of using some sort of a pest remover, I went ahead and I just said, you know what, I'm going to find balance. And in came this army of daddy longlegs, and they just went to town. And the daddy longlegs just were everywhere, but they were friends. And so I was happy to have them. The approach, it aligned with more of a permaculture and food forestry technique, which is something that I would love to have, which is food forestry, permaculture, everything companioning together, thriving. And that's kind of the goal I'm trying to do, even in small space. I'm trying to figure out if I can do that now in the shade gardens and then put that towards normal growing areas. So I'm just emphasizing and trying to create balanced ecosystem that supports our natural pest control and plant health. And by doing so, we have to have the pollinators too. So it's not just fruits and veggies for us. It's a little bit of everything for all of our other little friends. Here in Michigan, we do have several vegetables that do well in the shade, including leafy greens like spinach and kale, and root vegetables like carrots and beets, which I have never had any success yet with carrots, but I keep trying. I'm going to try and keep incorporating more of those plants into our garden, even though I'm the only one that eats beets. Natural pest control methods that are essential for maintaining a healthy garden. Healthy gardens. What does that mean exactly? It's a little bit different for everyone, but techniques could be companion planting, Some people like to use neem oil. I haven't really gone about doing that, but I do know that that's something that a lot of people do. And then attracting the natural predators like ladybugs and birds, which can help keep the pests in check without harmful chemicals. I would be weary of bringing birds in too much, especially at berries, because then you might have another problem on your hand. Permaculture and food forestry principles, they guide us in creating self-sustaining garden that mimics natural ecosystems. So, as long as you're trying to keep everything in balance and you're not trying to force something that's not natural or encourage things that you have to work harder for. My theory is work smarter, not harder, and use what you've already got around you. So I use a lot of natural elements in my gardening because I don't care if it falls apart next year. I like actually reconstructing and redesigning. And as an artist, which I am, I really enjoy watching things change and evolve because that's the beauty of nature and it has its own art. So for me, I thrive in things changing like that. This year we are excited to be having our compost from various sources, including our food waste, our paper waste. We're going to bring back the horse manures. We're going to have to transport that because our horse isn't on site where we're going to have the composting. And then keeping up with garden waste, tree limbs, sticks, anything that'll start to break down and go back into that soil and make really rich, beautiful growing things is what we're going to be putting together. We're just going to keep on doing that and encouraging our little wiggly worms to come in and help us create rich, fertile soil for our plants. And we'll keep on using leaves that have been decomposing to enrich our compost. I've heard people have been just having so much success with that. Some have gotten away from animal compost, from manures and such. I'm not 100% on just doing leaf composting right now, but maybe over time I'll have a switch. But if we've got it, I'll use it because it's free. Anything and everything that can go in, I put in. We're excited to plan for our non-shade garden in the future. We thought we would have access to more sunlight this year, started gathering up seeds and stuff for that. But this future garden will focus on, a future more sunny garden will focus on non-bioengineered heritage and heirloom varietals of fruits and vegetables that are pollinator-friendly and dog-friendly. That's very important to us because my dog was eating a lot of our plants last year, and I think the bean leaves was making her stomach upset. So we're going to try and just keep beans and things like that nature maybe a little bit less away from where she has access to, and grow things that she can also eat. We joke sometimes she's a vegetarian or a vegan, but we also plan to include berries and fruit-bearing trees, especially blueberries, raspberries. Raspberry leaves are really good for our mare. They help with her mood swings. I love making fruit fermented wines, juices, things like that, vinegar. So anything that we can have that we can make or throw in the freezer and put into smoothies or add into our diet, I'm all for it. So we're going to add more of that to create diverse and abundant garden, and also we'll be tending to our pollinator plants using local seeds from meadows, including the echinacea, black-eyed Susan, senna, which we've been finding down near the river and collecting those pods, goldenrod, and much more. Anything that the bees will take to, which will help them with more honey, I'm going to keep on going with those things. And then we're going to start placing those in areas that currently lack wild abundance to help our bees. In addition to gardening, we encourage that structures that are able to break down over time, that also provide shelter to creatures that live in the wild and help create homes and watering holes for solitary bees and toads, are implemented in our planning. So where our shade garden, which we call the Garden of Weeden, it's a testament to the power of creativity, resilience, and working with nature. So as we continue our beekeeping journey, we look forward to learning and growing alongside our plants and pollinators. You'll probably be seeing a lot more stick-built, log-built, anything thrown away or cast off will go into creating the gardening area. Thanks for joining us today, looking at our little garden of Weeden, our test shade garden. But don't forget, please, please, please subscribe, hit the bell, stay updated on our latest gardening adventures. If you do like these videos and you want to see more of them, go ahead and leave a comment below. Let me know what types of things you do in your gardens, what types of foods you like to grow, and if you know how to make carrots grow, let me know because my horse will thank you. So outside of that, if you like this video, give a thumbs up, and Brian and I look forward to sharing more with you this season.